It is a big weekend in college and NFL, and we'll talk about it on the Matt Mosley Show on Monday and the E-Radio Network. But we'll get you ready for it right now. In fact, LSU is hosting Florida. Of course, all our listeners there in Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas. And the Tigers should win big as Florida comes in. Billy Napier's job is once again on the line. The hot seat is a real thing, and they're coming off a really bad loss to South Florida. And so they'll be a desperate team that shows up there in Death Valley against number 3 LSU. And then in Ole Miss, here comes Arkansas. Taylor Green, quarterback at Arkansas, has been really good so far. He's put up great numbers. Sam Pittman, another coach that's always on the hot seat. They'll go into Ole Miss and play Lane Kiffin, number 17, Ole Miss Rebs, and we'll see how that one goes. Now, the one I'm really keeping an eye on, and this is a night game in Notre Dame, South Bend, Indiana. The Aggies, the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies, head in there. And this Aggies team that the E-Radio Network took a long look at 2 weeks ago in that UTSA game, Terry Bussey, Mario Craver. They have KC Concepcion, who transferred in from NC State. These are the receivers. This is the best receiving core I've seen at A&M in the past decade. And then Le'Veon Moss at running back, pretty decent offensive line. This Aggies bunch with Marcel Reed triggering this offensive quarterback look pretty good. And, in fact, I think they're going to have more athletes on the field than Notre Dame. But, again, Notre Dame will be at home. The one thing I'll say, Aggs are buying up tickets like crazy, and there are rumors of A&M taking over 10 to 20% of that stadium. Aggs are getting in there. They're buying up the tickets, so we will see what that looks like. You may see a lot of that maroon mixed in with that Irish gold as the teams, and green, I should add, that green and the gold helmets, the golden dome of Notre Dame, touchdown Jesus, all of that. It's going to be a fun matchup. And then, of course, the Cowboys will host the New York Giants. E-Radio Network will be on the scene for that one. I'm looking at that line right now. It's hovering about 5 or 5.5. Maybe it'll get bet up to 6. Obviously, Cowboys favored in this one. New York Giants getting some decent news. They're going to have their full complement of wide receivers, it looks like. And, of course, everybody is good to go for them. Russell Wilson had a bad outing last week against Washington, and he'll be looking to bounce back. And Jackson Dart, his backup, at some point, he will be the starter this year for the Giants. It could happen sooner rather than later, especially if the Cowboys put the Giants in a bad way on Sunday. I think this game could be pretty close, at least until the fourth quarter. I see the Cowboys pulling away. Let's remember, they're playing without their starting quarterback, Deron Bland. He's got a foot injury, had a foot injury last year that kept him out for a lot. This is a different foot, but still, this could be multiple weeks he's out, and the Cowboys are having to bring folks up from their practice squad to get them ready and get them out there to play in this secondary. I think the Cowboys pull away and probably win this thing somewhere in the neighborhood of 28-17 when all is said and done. And lots of things to react to on Monday. Listen to the show weekdays, 5 o'clock on all of our stations across Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. We'll see you Monday. It is Matt Mosley for the E-Radio Network.